some other things that I was doing, and we were supposed to sing that evening. When we got to Shiloh Baptist Church and the rest of the group showed up, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I said, y'all singing, I'm going to the emergency room. My aunt had already taken my blood pressure, and it was like 199 over 100 and something. I mean, she said, you're pushing a stroke right now. And I still wanted to persevere because I didn't want to let the choir down that had invited us to come. So I went on to the service and I sat there, and I said maybe it'll go away in a few minutes, and I sat there and it just would not stop. So after I told them to go ahead and sing, I went to the emergency room, and when I got to the emergency room, they took the vitals and did the triage and all of that stuff, and then they took me in the back and did a EKG, did a CAT scan, and whatever else they did. And they said, Mr. Wilson, we're going to have to transport you to Duke University because you're bleeding on the brain. And you're at a point right now that we can't do anything for you right here. But they had to airlift me to Duke University because they were thinking I had an aneurysm. That's what they said, that I had an aneurysm. And all I could think at that point was, Lord, it's in your hands. Lord, it's in your hands. When people heard about what was going on, people went to praying all throughout the city of Danville. They were telling me they interrupted services and meetings and banquets and stuff. And people went in to pray. Hallelujah. When I got down to Duke University, when I got there and the doctors started doing whatever tests they were doing, when they started saying whatever they were saying, hallelujah, I was still in my right mind. I was still blessed to God. And any of y'all that know the little thing we got called Facebook, I was still on Facebook telling about what God was going to do. When I got to Duke University, they said I was still bleeding on the brain, but they couldn't find where it was coming from. But what they said was the blood was there, but they couldn't find the bleeding anyway. Y'all didn't get that. The blood was there, but they couldn't find the bleeding anyway. They ran all kinds of tests. And I want you to know that I believe that when I was being transported across that area, how many know God can move? The effectual fervent prayer of the righteous and availeth much. And I believe that people are praying hard. I believe that God touched my body as I was going through the air. All the doctors could do was sit there and observe me. I was there for 12 days. And all they could do was observe because they couldn't figure out what was going on. Hallelujah. How many know God can? How many know that God can? When I left that hospital, they still didn't know what was going on because God had already worked it out. How many know that no matter what the doctors say, no matter what man says, how many know it ain't over till God says it's over? Hallelujah. They could say, they could have counted me out, but it ain't over till God says it's over. Hallelujah. Sister Terry, I want you to come sing this song because I believe that it won't my time to go. God had a work for me to do. God had a ministry He had placed in my heart. Hallelujah. I had prayed to Him and I had done what He told me to do. All I had to do was trust and believe that He was going to make a way out of no way. And I believe those prayers that were going forth. And I believe those prayers that were going forth even from me beforehand. Hallelujah. The work that He had told me to do. The obedience that I had given to Him. He had to work it out. And He had to show people. He even had to show me that it wasn't nobody but Him. Hallelujah.